Well, Melanie Debono is a senior Europe economist at Pantheon Macroeconomics. I spoke to her earlier and asked her about analyst predictions for the ECB rate hike.
Previous to the latest inflation number, we foresaw a 50 basis point hike, as many of our colleagues did. But of course, after that bolstering reading of a 9.1 record inflation rate in August, much of us changed our forecast and went for 75, and that's what the ECB did today. So it followed through on what we expected. It's punchy and more is coming. They've set out that more rate hikes will be needed because inflation is far too high for them to be comfortable with.
And to what extent will this help Europe avoid a recession, Melanie?
Rate hikes should work to limit inflation, but of course that comes with a lag. So we do not expect it to limit a recession. We do expect the Eurozone to fall into a recession by Q4 this year. The central bank put out its forecast today along with the decision. It doesn't see a recession. Mind you, the forecasts are basically stalling, so it's more or less there. But we do not expect the rate hikes to limit the Eurozone from falling into recession, and we think that will be led by Germany and Italy more so than other countries because they're heavily exposed to Russian gas, which is now, of course, disappearing.
And the cost of living, of course, continues to rise across Europe. What is your outlook for its trajectory as we headed towards those colder months ahead?
So in the coming months, we do expect inflation to roll over. Of course, the risk is that it remains higher than we currently expect. But base effects from last year's increases in energy prices mean it should still fall. We expect wage growth to slightly pick up, which suggests that the cost of living should ease somewhat over the coming months, but it will remain very poignant and real incomes will still be falling. So we look for consumers to be struggling over the coming months, and the colder winter than usual will mean that energy bills could spike even higher because it could mean a gas shortage, and that will be, it will hurt. So the Eurozone economy is headed for a recession over the coming 2 quarters.